Hey, welcome to Smith's Perspective on the Arsenal African channel or the Arsenal African Network channel. Uh, it's a weekend one, and I welcome all of you on board. Welcome. Subscribe if you want to, because for me, over here, we speak facts, we speak with wisdom, and the intellect and the intellectual capacity. This edition is most Arsenal fans are childish. Most Arsenal fans are childish. That is the topic for today. Most Arsenal fans are childish. And I'll tell you why. Look, we've all been fans. For me, I'll speak for myself. I've been an Arsenal fan from the 1970s. And we've seen us going through the George Graham era through to Arsene Wenger. And I'm talking about the areas that we did so well from Wenger to Arteta, Mikel Arteta, and as we find ourselves now. Look, why am I saying the most Arsenal fans are childish, especially those on YouTube? Most of them, not all of them, most of them are very childish, crying babies. Crying babies. Hell no. Look, I'm saying this is my channel, Arsenal Africa Network. You subscribe to my channel, subscribe only if you like what you hear. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe for subscribing's sake. I don't do that. I want you to subscribe because you love what you hear from here. Now, let me break it down. If you are an infantile Arsenal fan, I'm talking about young Arsenal fan from 13 and below, you don't have business sense. So we can excuse you. We've all been there before. But as soon as you become aware of your surroundings, you become responsible for yourself and for others, like some of us are, you will understand that you will not support Arsenal only because you want to win and that's it. No, those are for children. Because what children really want, look, when we were young, you go play football with your friends, and fairly you know that your team did not perform and lost. But we cry as children. We never accept defeat because we are kids. We don't understand that aspect of life, that you lose or you gain. So these Arsenal fans on YouTube, crying babies, and they cry and cry and cry. I was watching Troops together with Lee Judges and of course Dan Potts. And Dan Potts is a crying baby. Lee Judges not exactly a crying baby. He's fair. Lee Judges is fair, and he will cry when he has to cry. But I will not even say Lee Judges cry. He laments when he needs to lament. But these cry babies, Dan Potts, Troops, Curtis, what's his name? What the other guy on Turkish, crying babies. These four crying babies. I am asking them, I love you, but I want you to look at something. Gone are the days when some of us were so much interested in looking at the fanfare of supporting a football club. No. You need to be aware that Arsenal Football Club is a business entity as well. And you have to be considerate. You have to be considerate when it comes to sympathizing with the owners as well. In this case, the Cronkies. You cannot sit down because I saw Dan Port's caption. We buy only Zubermendi and no business. What business? Only Zubermendi. Where's the other business? Some are also saying we are June is ending and there's no business. There's no business. Arsenal is not doing business. What do you mean by Arsenal is not doing business? You want Arsenal management. You want Bertha and the team, Arteta and co, the board, will be announcing to us every day, every minute, every hour what they are doing. What do you mean? When you say they are not doing business, what do you mean? When you say that Arsenal is not doing business, I really want you to tell me what you mean by it. Because these are sweeping statements that does not make any sense to the ordinary minds. That is what I'm saying to you guys, that the 2008, 2009, 2010 Arsenal supporters are now grown to become men and women who have what we call discerning minds. And they will not be trooping together, gathering together to assemble at Emirates and be protesting because you say so. They will analyze the situation and find out why they should get together or, be up in arms with Arsenal management. They will not do so. That is why I like Robbie. Robbie has grown and matured than most of you. That's why you criticize him. Robbie has grown and matured to that level where he is looking at the business aspect of it because he's an entrepreneur. As much as you want him to be going crazy and shouting on top of the roof because something is not going well, now he appreciates how to run an entity. That's why sometimes you see him talking and defending the Cronkies a bit, defending Arteta a bit, because he has a know-how of how to run business. The reason why I'm saying most of you are childish is because when your child wants you to buy toffee, football, and all the things, when you're a child, you list the things your parents must buy for you, and you don't look back. You're writing, I want daddy, I want a football, mommy, I want a doll, and I want chips, and I want toffees. At the same time, a whole list of things, because you are below 13. You don't have the sense of economy. You don't take into consideration where mommy and daddy will get money from. You don't do all that. But as soon as you turn 18 and you become responsible, your demands are limited because you are then aware. Sometimes you even ask dad, because my older kids ask me, Dad, is it possible for you to buy me something? You see the word, is it possible? That is it okay? That can you afford to buy me this? They use can you because they are now responsible. And most of you are shouting on top of the roof, buy this, buy that, without thinking about the business aspect of football club. We saw Portsmouth going down, Pompey. They went down because of mismanagement. That very year they went down. That very season they won a trophy. That very season they won a trophy. With my Ghanaian folks who were then, they had very good team. With Sule Muntari was also part of that team. Great players. Great players. Where's Portsmouth? Went into administration. The rest is history. Now let me tell you about football management. This football management is not about euphoria only. It's not about your hype. You see what Liverpool is doing. You see what Man City is doing. You see what he's doing. You see what he's doing. We don't run Arsenal Football Club based on the things Man City does. Get it. Educate your masses. Educate your audience. I see some of you get thrilled because you have numbers and you see 15,000 and you see 30,000 views and likes and what have you. You don't ask yourself, who are these people who are watching me? What kind of audience do I have? Are they 15,000 fools or 15,000 wise men? Are they 15,000 idiots or they are 15,000 discerning minds? Or you just want to have views? Who are your viewers? Who listen to you? Most YouTubers don't do that research to analyze who your viewers are, how old they are. So when you see 13 years and 14, 12 years subscribing to your channel, you think you have numbers and then you churn out nonsense. I love all of you. I don't hate you. You are doing the same thing I'm doing. But I've watched you, and initially I thought it was inexperienced and maybe it's intentional, or is it diabolic? The only diabolic person here is Liganis. He's diabolic. As for him, he's never satisfied. He has his own agenda. We'll come to Liganis later. But the rest of you, Troops, Curtis, Dan Potts, Turkish. The other day, Troops was shouting and cursing. Look, you are not a kid who just lost his football or who just picked his football at the football pitch and ran away when he lost the totals. Because he was not allowed to take a penalty, he picks his football, puts it in his armpit, and tried to run away from his friends. Troops, that is not how Arsenal Football Club is run. The club is not run by your emotions and the silliness of your screaming. Somebody's saying in the comments that you left Yardman. Yardman, another man, yeah man. You guys think Arsenal is run with emotions. I run a business. I pay staff. This YouTube is not my entire life and work. This is just a part-time thing and I do it as in my leisure. So I'm not going to go crazy because I want money. I don't need money from YouTube. That's why if I have even 50 sensible people viewing me, I am happy and satisfied. Instead of getting 15,000, 20,000 fools and young kids who do not understand the dynamism of running a football club. So when you say Arsenal is not doing any business, I'm asking you, what do you mean? Because you're not privy to the day-to-day interviews, the discussions between teams, football agents, and the football players themselves, and so on a daily basis. You are referring to you being aware per announcement. Isn't what you mean by they are not doing business? That's what I'm saying. Most of you are not logical and you're not sensible, except Robbie and a few others. I've never met Robbie before. I don't know him. But I see he has a plan and a steady mind. Most of you are very infantile, childish, especially Curtis. He annoys me because he's a former footballer. What team was he playing for? Which team did Curtis play for? Tell me in the comments. What team? He was a professional footballer, I'm told. I checked his background. And Dan Pauls, you've been with AFT on many occasions. Don't you reason? We don't buy football players and throw money away. We don't do that. We don't want to do the Chelsea experience when Abramovich left and this guy came to take over, this American businessman took over. Look at the number of players he bought and spent almost £1 billion or £1 billion buying players, and that landed Chelsea in a mess. And that's why we got Havertz and co. Listen, and ended up messing the team up because there's no planning. How do we copy teams and the way they are doing their thing? Now people are copying Arsenal. People are learning the Arsenal way. Let me tell you, no fan will follow you when you even, because somebody mentioned the other day that when we call the fan base for protest, they don't want to show up. The Arsenal fans are so naive. They are so they are playing to the gallery, and they are not responding because these young men and women who are teenagers from 18 above, not the 13 years below that you are talking to every day, the 18 years above are responsible young men and women. If you are a student and you are in school from class 1 to class 5, you were 8 in class 1, 8 in the role. I'm talking about role in class in terms of your performance in exam. You came 8 in class 1, you came 8 in class 2, class 3, 4, and 5, you were second. Your parents' target is for you to become first because they are spending so much on you. Extra classes, extra teachers paying extra, doing extra things for you. So your parents want you to become first. There's nothing wrong with it. We parents want the best for our children. So we strive for the best. So you've been second from class 3 to class 5. Now you're going to class 6. Now your father and mom says, if you don't get the first position, we're going to deal with you. We are going to deal with you. Now, at the same time, your parents are not going to chastise you and beat you and ridicule you because you turned second. Second for 3 consecutive seasons or years in your class. It's not failure. It's not first either. You don't win any award in your school because the one who turned first won the award. Because the school awards I'm just giving an analogy. So, which rational human being will jump at the whistle of a protest to protest against Arteta and Arsenal for becoming second on a roll? That's why I'm saying that analysis, the stats, they are all feeble minds. For children who attend, most Arsenal fans are childish. And most of them are on YouTube, unfortunately. When you have a blind man leading the way, all of you are going into the ditch. So these guys are churning out nonsense every day. It's either for views, either to frustrate the people. They act emotionally and they never grow. I've seen them, I've watched most of them for 5 years. They don't grow. That's where they are. The only person who has grown his channel and his posture, his thinking is Robbie. It's Robbie of AFTV. He is the only person who has grown and become mature. Sometimes he argues with them, after match interview, and he asks them, what do you want them to do? And that funny thing, one time, Robbie asked somebody that, do you want Arsenal to go kidnap those players and bring them? I laughed my head off. I laughed and I fell on my sofa. This is ludicrous. Every time these guys will come with some negative and emotional stress, and they are stressful, as if you don't have any job at Arsenal. You are just a fan. You come on and say, oh, look, the board is Supermendy. Well, let's see what happens. It's, that's the only signing. I think they are in the background doing some things. So when you come and say no business being done, you have said nothing. You look silly because the Arsenal business room or office is running 24 hours if you do not know. As I speak, as I'm speaking now, as I am on air now, the business is going on. What the hell? What is this? It's just for views? It's just to create animosity? If you are stressed, stay away from the public place. This is a huge thing. YouTube, you are talking to, when we have the privilege to own a YouTube channel and even get 500 subscribers. I'm just saying, very few. And we are talking to people. Let's credit those people with some intellect. Let us not assume we are so sensible than all these people. When you see Arsenal fans gather at the Emirates to watch football match, amongst them are doctors, lawyers, artisans, architects, business moguls, retired sportsmen, retired analysts, all kinds of people from different walks of life gathering together to cheer Arsenal. That mood there is all about win. It's all about cheers. It's all about taking some beer, taking some spirits, and drinking some fruit juice and get happy and hype. And that is all it's for. When that is done, you go home, you relax, and watch a replay or whatever you want to do, and leave the business aspect of Arsenal to the businessmen. Yours is to jump around. But those businessmen are not going to be at your beck and call of your stupid emotions so that they will jump and buy players. Look, I have seen, I think I kind of evaluate the way they think. What most of these childish Arsenal YouTubers want to see is Arsenal to line up some huge names for them to be like, yeah, we got them, we got them, we got them, we got it, yeah, we got this player, we got this player, we got that, we bought him for £150. It's a huge one for the debate, for the purpose of debate, for the purpose of other fans. And then, look, those are for young kids. I don't do that anymore. I used to do that. Gather with people and tease people. I don't do that anymore. I want my team to win. I debate. I do intellectual debate. I do intellectual debate. That is what I'm involved in. I'm not emotional, and to the extent that I'll churn out stupid things, all for the sake of views. That's what I'm saying. That do you want 15,000 fools or 15,000 viewers who are sensible? Check your numbers. Check your audience, your target audience. Who are they? And so therefore you are frustrated because nobody is listening to you. The other day when Thierry Henry made those statements, he was chastised by the Arsenal people and he was shocked. I'm a legend. I'm a football legend of Arsenal. Why do you chastise me? Thierry Henry, I'm sorry to break your bubbles. I am sorry to tell you, you got to sit your butt down. We cherish you. We love you. You don't get it. We are running a football club. Arteta is a manager. You are a football legend. You've done your bit. We've given you a statue. Beautiful for you. Good for you. Now we have a business to run. We have a football to manage. Allow the man who's managing to manage it. After all, Arteta is one of us. In terms of Arsenal, he supports Arsenal. Pep said in one of his interviews, he said, Arteta looked miserable anytime they come to Emirates to beat Arsenal or even in Etihad. So he was watching him quietly. He told somebody, this guy is Arsenal supporter. Pep is not making it up. Pep is not making it up. He's saying it. That he saw Arteta's mood anytime, and those were the days Arsenal always will lose 5-0, 6-0, 4-0 to Man City. Now, is it the same? When's the last time Man City scored against Arsenal? When's the last time? I'm not going to get into the performance of Arteta, because for me, go to my subsequent videos and you see them. I have my views about Arteta, an excellent manager. Was it 2 days ago, or was it? I watched Curtis saying Arteta is learning on the job and is still not matured enough. You are so disrespectful, Curtis. You are so full of yourself. A manager has managed a team for 5 years. You say he's still learning. A manager who just was able to beat Real Madrid home and away. One of the greatest managers of our time. One of the greatest managers of our time, Ancelotti, was beaten by Arteta home and away. You call him learning on the job? You don't have any respect for Arteta. Just shut up. Curtis, shut up. I love you, but shut up at the same time. You guys must learn how to describe people. People are listening. I am in Africa, and you Arsenal fans, those of you who haven't been here except Robbie and the AFT team who have traveled to various African countries, they will tell you that when you come here and you are debating and asking the kind of facts that we have, you sit in the UK and you think you are a master of everything and you're talking to some fools. Please respect your audience. Respect people. And stop being childish. Don't bring your childish thing. Let it stay among you and your kids when you're discussing Arsenal and you're emotional about it. Do it at home behind closed doors. Don't come publicly and embarrass yourself. How can you say Arteta is inexperienced and is learning on the job? 5 years managing a team like Arsenal and becoming second. So let me describe Arsenal or an Arteta to you if you don't understand stats or you don't get it. Arsenal being second for 3 years back to back means that Arsenal and Arteta are the second best team in the Premiership. Why is it so difficult to affect your minds to that? Man City, Liverpool are the only teams that have won it. For the last 3 years, let's stick to the last 3 years. Arteta and Arsenal, the second most successful club in the Premier League. How can you describe somebody like that inexperienced? You can say he's stubborn. You can say he sticks to his guns. And I have said that most of the times Arteta is stubborn to a core. And it cost us, especially his thing with Wanieri and his substitution and some of his punishment. If I'm told Wanieri was late in training and other things he done, unless maybe he's done something terrible, so terrible that he needs to be punished. Otherwise, I was thinking it was a bit harsh. We can criticize Arteta on such things. But there's no way I will sit here and call Arteta naive. He's no more naive. First year, second year, yes. 5 years in the job of managing Arsenal, bringing us second on 3 occasions. Well, it's not good enough. We want to be first. That's why I gave you the analogy earlier on about school and how, but even having said that, having said we want to win the trophy by becoming number 1, it doesn't mean number 2 is insignificant. It doesn't mean number 2, the second highest score in the league or the second best team in the league, the Premier League, is not an achievement. It is. And they'll say it's not an achievement because it's not a trophy. We know it's not a trophy. The second best, Arsenal. It's a fact. Why won't you respect the manager of that caliber? Because you want to win the trophy so much so that you have forgotten where to place Arteta and how to congratulate him for what he has done. You cannot disrespect Arteta the way you guys do. It's very, very, very unfair, and it is unacceptable. So, childish Arsenal fan YouTubers, please don't think about the views you have. Think about those who will take the sense in what you're saying and work with it. You always have to sit down and analyze, watch. I don't, because you do so many videos, you don't even have time to watch your shows. Play back your shows and watch them. As for Troops, he's a crying baby, shouting and cursing all the time. Make no sense. No. Doesn't make sense from day one. Every day he doesn't make sense. You're running your own businesses. You know how it is. You don't expect, you see, be fair to the cronkies. Do you know where they get their money from? Do you know their source of money? Have you ever sat down? That's what I'm saying, that it's only careless people who are shouting on YouTube all the time. Do you find out where? Do you sympathize with them? Do you want them to make profit? I want them to make profit. It's not easy to pump in so much money. It's not easy. Not only the cronkies, all football club owners, those teams that are being relegated, their money, their owners have done well. Even the season of being there, I'm talking about the Leicesters of this world, the Southamptons of this world. Now Leeds United is back. How do you think these owners are feeling? Daniel Levy, look at him sacking Angie after his achievement. He's not satisfied because he knows the kind of money they pump in to run the club. You have to think of the owners so that the team does not go bankrupt. We don't end up becoming Portsmouth. Look, people don't know. In business, when you are coming down, you come down so quickly. If your books don't, but you can't balance your books, you come down like this. That's what I'm saying. Most of you are childish because you don't run businesses. So as for you, what you want is the fanfare, the euphoria, the fun, the glamour. So you sign the players. Somebody will sit down and say, I've never seen a player being unveiled and it's been, and somebody was even saying, was it Dan Pot? Apart from the rice, even the rice one, it was not that. Look at these guys. I know some of you childish fans, you want to wake up to see Arsenal sign almost all the top players. You don't mind us to buy them for buying them sake, just because you want to feel a feel-good factor. Gone are the days. I remember when we bought Ozil, I was running in my room. I won't do the same thing now even if we buy Messi. Prime Messi, I mean. I'll say, oh wow. Because I will not only look at the fanfare of it, but I've started looking at how much are we going to pay this guy. Then I'll put pen on paper and start calculating. That's what we do now. That's what we think. We don't become yard man shouting like in a yard. I'm not in a yard. I'm in an office. I ran an office. And most Arsenal fans are professionals on their own. That's what I'm saying, that if you're a YouTuber, ask yourself, who are your audience? Are they 15,000 fools, naive people, 15,000 naive watch listeners? Or they are discerning 15,000, 20,000 people? Which is which? Let's leave the childishness, the emotions aside. And never do we have to say, Arsenal is not doing any business. They are working as I speak to you. They have not announced it for you to hear. As I speak to you, phone calls are going on. People are flying here and there. We don't even know where the manager in charge of transfer is today. We don't know. Perhaps he was on board a plane to another country. You sit on YouTube and said, Arsenal is not doing any business. Are you serious? Are you serious? Let me tell you, YouTube is no more a play game now. It's been watched by many discerning people. So mind your comments, do a research, come out and be sensible so that we will all be happy watching you and listening to you. I am a YouTuber. I have my YouTube channel. Not only I have more than one. The Arsenal is a new channel. This one is a new channel, but I'm a musician. So when you go on YouTube, Michael Aiko Smith, you see my other channels with enough subscribers and views. Those who watch my music all the time. That's not it. I run an advertising agency and I do other stuff as well. So we are not just Arsenal fans. We are professionals. We are intelligent people. I watch all of you. The only person I watch, I become happy, is Robbie and a few others. I'm talking about the Arsenal fan channels. You know? The rest are pathetic. Some of you even give us high blood pressure. If you're not careful, if you're so young and you don't want to cross-check your facts, then again, I want to tell you guys, when you hear rumor that Arsenal want to buy a player, don't run with it and start giving yourself, emotional pressure and running with it. Hey, it's just rumor. When we were mentioning names, we didn't even know we were going to buy Havertz. We didn't know we were going to buy. That time we were thinking of Modric. Arteta was preparing to bring in Trossard. We always don't get it right. David Raya was something nobody thought, nobody predicted. The same as the goalkeeper, the current goalkeeper we bought. Nobody saw it coming. So stop jumping around when you hear rumors. Unless you're listening, your audiences, you don't respect us. Because I watch you guys. All of you, I've subscribed to your channels. All of you. I don't hate you. But I just don't like the way you go about your and the kind of things you say. Think about it. Some of you still behave like 5 years ago when I started watching you guys. No involvement. No improvement. As for truths, I think he'll remain like this forever. Has no sense of respect. He has no regard for anything. Cursing and swearing and think he's talking to some kids. As for Yardman, he's confused, and in his confusion, he will confuse. He thinks he's making sense, but he's still confused. And what makes it interesting is that in his confusion, he thinks we are also confused. In the first place, he is so confused that he thinks we are rather confused. Yardman. And anyway, so look, I love you, childish Arsenal YouTubers and childish Arsenal fans. I love you all. We are all goodness. Love you. See you another time. The name is Michael Aiko Smith. Subscribe to my channel if you love me, if you think I'm making sense. That's the only way. If not, don't subscribe. Yes, I'm not going to, subscribe because you think there is something you want to learn. Love you. Bye.